What's up y'all, it's JayClutch. Recently I saw this tweet on my feed and it had me thinking, who was my first favorite player in the NBA? Well, the answer is obvious based on the title of this video, but it was Jason Richardson. Now if you're an actual hardcore Warrior fan, welcome, how you doing? Congrats on another championship. But if you're a Fairweather fan, let me drop some knowledge on you about the pre-dominant Warriors. Maybe you can use this information to impress some people, I don't know. Anyways, the date is June 27, 2001. I'm only 5 years old at the time, but this was a big day for the Golden State Warriors. They're coming off a 17-65 record season, placing them last in the Western Conference, and they end up with the 5th pick in the 2001 NBA Draft. With that pick, the Warriors would draft 6'6" shooting guard Jason Richardson from Michigan State. He would go on to have a decent rookie year, averaging 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, playing in 80 games and starting in 75 of them. He would struggle with finding consistency with his jump shot, but from day one, he was able to show off his gifts of athleticism and verticality. None more present than the 2002 NBA dunk contest.
This is a good break. Again, he's confident with this particular dunk.
The Warriors would only win 4 more games compared to the year before, but it was obvious that Jay Rich was the franchise player they've been looking for. Richardson's sophomore year wasn't really the next step the Warriors could have hoped for, but he had another decent season averaging 15.5 points and another 4 rebounds and 3 assists. His stunt in development was due to playing behind NBA star Anton Jameson and an unexpected spectacular sophomore season from Gilbert Arenas.
Knocked away by Arenas, ahead to Jason, look out!
Jason was still able to wow fans with his athleticism though. In the 2003 NBA dunk contest, Jay Rich needed 49 in the final round to beat Desmond Mason and protect his title, and he did this.
It has to jump off 2 feet also.
The 03-04 season saw Jameson get traded to the Mavericks, and Arenas left in the offseason to sign with the Wizards. In his first year as the focal point of the offense, Richardson led the team in scoring with almost 19 points a game to go with 6.5 rebounds. Richardson continued to make strides in the 04-05 season, averaging just under 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists a game. This season would be a big one though, because on February 24, 2005, the Warriors traded for 2-time All-Star Baron Davis. Unfortunately, Davis would have an injury-plagued 05-06 season, playing in only 54 games. But in the 2005 NBA Draft, the Warriors selected future star Monte Ellis. They would go on to miss the playoffs again with a 34-48 record, but Richardson would go out of his way to place this ad all over the Bay Area news. He reportedly paid half of the estimated $100,000 it took to put up the ad, and wait, hold up, does that say click here for 2 free tickets? If that doesn't show how different times were back then, I don't know what will. Anyways, the 2006-2007 season would be the year that everything finally clicked. Unfortunately, Richardson would be plagued with injuries during the regular season, only playing in 51 games. But on January 17, 2007, the Warriors would make one of the biggest trades in their recent history. They traded 2 absolute scrubs in Troy Murphy and Mike Dunleavy to the Indiana Pacers for Al Harrington and Steven Jackson. Although the Warriors had a good core with Barron, Jay Rich, Jackson, and Ellis, they would continue to struggle up until early March. After losing 6 straight and having a mediocre 26-35 record, the Warriors would put together an outstanding game against a very good Detroit Pistons team featuring guys like Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, and Chris Webber. Richardson would take charge in this pivotal game, scoring a game-high 29 points. This would spark a huge run for the Warriors, and they ended the season winning 16 of their last 21 games. Their 42-40 record earned them the 8th seed, and this was the first time in 13 years that the Warriors made the playoffs. Richardson finally delivered on his promise to Warrior fans that they would make the postseason. The 8th-seeded Warriors were matched up against the 67-15 Dallas Mavericks team led by NBA MVP Dirk Nowitzki. The Mavs were the favorites to win the title that year, which means of course they were heavily favored over the Warriors, even though the Warriors won the regular season series 3-0. Jason's first couple playoff games in Dallas were a little shaky to say the least, but being led by playoff veterans like Davis and Jackson, the Warriors were able to head back to Oracle with the series tied at 1 game apiece. This is where Richardson would flourish, averaging 22.5 points per game in the last 4 games of the series. The Warriors defeated the Mavericks in 6 games, but unfortunately lost in the second round to the Utah Jazz. Even though their season ended earlier than they wanted, the We Believe Warriors will always be one of the best underdog stories in NBA history. This is sadly where Richardson's time with the Warriors ends. The Warriors front office decided to build around then promising center Andris Biedrins and young shooting guard Monte Ellis, who was coming off a season that saw him win the Most Improved Player award. The Warriors traded Richardson to the Charlotte Bobcats for the draft rights of Brandon Wright. The trade was a huge blow to Jay Rich and Warriors fans alike. He poured his blood, sweat, and tears into the Warriors organization for 6 years, and the moment they become good, they trade him for an unproven rookie in Brandon Wright. Although Richardson had a great post-Warriors career playing with teams like the Steve Nash Suns and the Dwight Howard Magic, he has made his loyalty to Bay Area fans loud and clear. And this is why Jay Rich was my favorite player growing up. He was the first player in my lifetime that showed loyalty to the Warriors, which at the time were an absolute joke of a franchise. The Warriors were a team that mediocre players felt they could join just so they could pad their stats for a couple seasons and earn more money somewhere else. But Richardson was the first player I witnessed who actually wanted to stay in Oakland. And even though Richardson was never an all-star in his 14-year career, he still made a mark in the NBA as one of its best high flyers, as well as being a key part in one of the greatest upsets in sports history. That does it for this topic. Now I want to know, who was it that made you fall in love with basketball? I'd love to hear what y'all have to say down below. Hit that like button if you learned something new. More content similar to this coming soon, so if you like this video, consider subscribing. See y'all in the next video.